Swanee, were you impressed by what you saw?
Oh, smooth as silk. Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, really, really good. Do you know what it reminded me of? Keith, you've sat next to you in many European and international games.
Mm-hmm.
See so many players playing for opposition teams, whether foreign club teams or foreign international teams. Guys, big physiques. And when we have, technical players, they tend to be on the smaller side, or you have the bigger guys, they tend to be a bit lumpier and a bit more clumsy. And you look at international midfield players, they're 6 foot plus and they're smooth as silk and they move the ball brilliantly. And this boy does that.
Who did he remind you of?
Every inch. I'm not going to make comparisons to players, Keith. That's not the way. But I think the boy's going to make a name for himself. But you don't want to go overboard. But you don't play that many games in the Bundesliga, and you don't get into the Belgian senior national team if you've not got it. So he clearly has. But I think there was aspects. Celtic fans got to see everything yesterday. I think that was the thing that they were most excited about, and the fact that a ton of goals left when Matt O'Reilly went to Brighton. Within the first 15 minutes yesterday, Engels was in the box, hit one wide. He's hit the inside of the post with his other foot. 2 cracks at goal with one with either foot. He's making breaking runs into the box. He's playing passes, lovely flicks, lovely touches, great vision, as the caller said. But also there was a couple of instances yesterday when he lost the ball, and he does the dirty work as well. Drafting in, running, chasing back, nicking possession back. He looks like he's got the full package. Now, listen, as I say, it's early days, and it's all about consistency. He's got to do it out, but the signs are very, very good.
He obviously slots the penalty as well, Swanee. That was an interesting decision from Callum McGregor, I thought. And I think probably an example of why he's such an inspirational captain. Either that, or he's been watching this kid in the training pitch and he just thinks that he's out of this world and he's been, hitting penalties. But it seemed to me as if that was welcome to Celtic, son. Go and get yourself a goal.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's a fair comment, Keith. And listen, I don't think anybody would pretend that. I was laughing with someone at the game yesterday. I said that if Celtic could find someone who could score 100% of penalties, he'd probably be worth $5 million on his own, because our penalty record's absolutely terrible. Everybody was getting a chance last year and kept missing them. So why not give it to the new boy and give him a chance to go take one? And if he slots everyone that they get, then that's going to be a very healthy boost to his goal scoring tally. And Brendan Rodgers says he wants to add goals to his game. So I can't pretend to be an expert on his career in the Bundesliga. I don't know exactly what position he was operating in, but he looked to me, listening to Brendan Rodgers before the game yesterday, it seemed to be that he was talking maybe a wee bit of the shackle off, and he may be the type of player who might, tipster about it, an old style 8, get in the box and help when you haven't got the ball, and when you've got it, get in the box and try and score, like proper midfield players used to do back in the day.
I think it's worth mentioning as well that Celtic obviously still haven't conceded a goal in the Premiership, and I believe it's the first time since 1906 that a team in the top flight in Scotland has started their season not conceding a goal in their first 5 games. I mean, I know it's Celtic, I know they're the strongest team in the league, but that is still really impressive. I mean, they were under the cosh a little bit times yesterday. Hearts had a couple of good chances, obviously the penalty shout, but that is an amazing stat, really, when you think about it.
I wouldn't say they were under the cosh. At any
we had one cleared off the line, didn't they? Under the cosh, a bit strong.
There was one ball into the box when Alistair Johnson didn't have a good game yesterday, actually, for Alistair Johnson's standards. He just looked to be a bit off it. First touch like me, and Blair Spittle robbed him and delivered the ball into the box, and a Hearts substitute, miss a drama. Really should have got a stronger touch on it, but that was, and obviously you've seen the penalty incident. And Ron Sheffield was forced to try and hit one from about 100 yards at one point to try and beat Kasper Schmeichel. But that was about it. No, the Celtic have defended really, really strongly. Listen, Brendan Rodgers makes a great point about how that, and it's an oldest cliche in the book, but it starts from the front, but it does. When you've got gangs like Callum McGregor, I mean, Cameron Carter-Vickers is fantastic at going and winning the first ball. So in the halfway line, when anybody tries to get out, which then keeps the team's half, and then keeps the waves, keeps the press, keeps the pushing and the pressing forward going. But the rest of the team, you look at Dyson Maeda, Callum McGregor, Engels yesterday, Hatate doesn't mind putting a shift in, Kyogo, you saw it in the Old Firm game, chasing back 70 yards to make a challenge at Eddie's box. They all do it. So they're getting fabulous protection. And then guys like Greg Taylor and Alistair Johnson generally have been. Greg Taylor was terrific again yesterday. Just so understated, just does everything nice and simple, and just gets on, does a job great, and that new contract won't come fast enough.
If you're Austin Trusty, obviously £6 million, a lot of money. You kind of wonder how you're going to get in the team the way Celtic are playing at the minute. I mean, Scales I thought was really good yesterday again.
Yeah,
Scales has been terrific this season. I think he's actually gone up another level. Scales. It's funny because you do see sporadic moments of growth in players under Brendan Rodgers where they're good, they're ticking along fine, and then all of a sudden, wow, he's went up a different level. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm seeing that in Scales this season. He was always impressive enough. All right, he came into the team in difficult circumstances, lack of options, a complete lack of options, which is why he played. And he did really, really well to nail down that position, to stay in the team, to be dependable. This season, I think I see a difference in him. I see a big improvement in him again. I think he's coming on leaps and bounds. You will see that with players under Brendan Rodgers at particular times. I think Matt O'Reilly was one who really benefited from Brendan's arrival. And he, had a terrific season last season. He was already a top player, but he just looked as if he went up a few percent for me. I see something similar happening with Scales just now. And funnily enough, Greg Taylor's another. He's always been really dependable left back for Celtic. I think he flourished under Ange Postecoglou, getting that freedom to play the inverted role. But I think he's coming on again. I think there's an improvement in him as well. That's what you're looking for. Celtic are miles out in front of everybody else. Let's be blunt about it. They are miles out. And this team is only going to get better. And it was only a few weeks ago, I'll remind you, because I might remind you of this throughout the course of the season, certainly well towards the end of it, if it's right. But I did predict that Celtic will bust through the 100-point barrier in the league this season. And I have seen absolutely nothing to make me change my mind about that.
Sorry, go on, Dan.
No, go ahead, Sonny.
I was just going to say, we spoke about it on Hotline Live a couple of weeks ago, Keith. We were talking about, Brendan Rodgers has been looking to try and bring the vibrancy and keep the energy levels up and having the talent supply to bring from the bench. I mean, you've talked about Austin Trusty. They've also got the fullback for Barcelona, Alec Bice, come in.
Yeah.
They haven't played yet. But yesterday, Luke McCowan's confidence and composure to play from outside his own box yesterday to end up scoring the goal was absolutely fabulous. Him and Paulo Bernardo, who was arguably a man of the match contender. Well, I was going to say, sorry, he was a man of the match contender, arguably the man of the match against Rangers in his last day. They didn't start. You're replacing Engels and Rio Hatate with those two boys.
Yeah.
Terrific. Adamida's probably looked like he's needed some minutes. I don't know whether the games into his legs with Ireland when he was on the international duty made a difference, but he looked sharp yesterday again. Mm-hmm. The goal ruled out for offside was a great run across the front, across the face of the defender, near post finish, a Kyogo finish. He also made a couple of breaking runs in behind. He wasn't spotted for the pass, or he would have been through 1-on-1. This is what they're bringing off the bench now. This is what they've got at their disposal. And I think to back up your point of the points total, Keith, it's just hard to see them dropping levels. Mm-hmm. When you've got guys like that to bring from the bench, And
that level of competition, Swanee.
Sorry?
They've got that level of competition.